All right, here with Cordell. Cordell is a guru on supplements. Very smart, very aware of it. You manage a supplement store here in town, Size Up Supplements. Right. Give me 5 supplements you recommend. Not just for different purposes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because I got hundreds I could think of, but yeah.
So maybe like a bodybuilding type supplement, maybe a weight loss supplement, maybe like a general health supplement.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
What's some things you'd kind of recommend to people?
Yeah, I've been in the industry for decades now, and I feel old thinking about how long I've been doing supplements from high school, college to the present time. So I would generally say, protein, creatine, but we all have to realize now that the diets have changed, our eating habits have changed, the food's not the same anymore. A lot of us have different health issues as well. So top 5 things I would say, not in any particular order, just top 5 in general. A lot of us have issues with digestion, cholesterol, blood pressure. So I would say definitely a good fiber supplement. Really? A lot of us don't get enough fiber. And I'm not talking about like Metamucil, because you need to have soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, and then you also should be doing things that's going to help out with just overall hydration of the colon, like prebiotics and probiotics. Okay. So there's supplements you can take that will give you a mix of all the above, certain greens powders, certain things that contain chia seed, flaxseed, pumpkin seed. Like there's certain, main thing in general will be like a nice flaxseed powder. And any kind of flaxseed powder that you get should usually have a blend of different kinds of things for digestion as well. So I think first and foremost is digestion. So a supplement that's going to give you good digestion, that will allow your body to actually utilize everything you're giving it. So your base should be something for digestion, because you can't absorb your protein, your carbs, your healthy fats, your creatine, your protein, without having healthy digestion.
Gotcha. So the better digestion and more ability to absorb the nutrients. Yep. When you eat those foods, when you eat all those protein, when you eat those steaks, you're actually absorbing what you get out of it. Yeah. Why are we struggling with digestion?
Yeah, I think it's once again the way the food is, the way the soil is nowadays, how things are processed, how things are so stretched out, to actually have it to work and be less costly. We've kind of got away from the whole idea of health. We're trying to get more quantity over quality.
Yeah, it's more efficient. Yeah, I remember reading something. It's like the soil that our food is grown in is so bad, or because it's
nutrients is not there.
Yeah, the nutrients aren't there because the food's like revolved so many times these days.
Yeah,
so you're not. It's from the base, the very base of food. It's not starting right.
Yeah, and that's even our vegetables. So you're doing a raw diet, but what soil is being used. If the soil is not very good at all, then the nutrients from the food is not going to be very good at all.
Gotcha.
So that's going to throw off the ability for you to digest certain foods and digest in general. So a lot of our people don't always like supplementing things, but I think nowadays supplementing is what you have to do to really ensure that your body has everything it needs. Okay. And that would be your base. Would be something for digestion overall.
What is a digestion type? Is that you talking greens? Are you talking?
Yeah. Well, I think.
What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah, and without people thinking they either run and get everything in that category is I will say a greens powder, because any typical greens powder you guys get, keep in mind with greens powders, it's very popular. Every brand's got their own greens powders. We can make our own greens powder tomorrow. Avoid grasses. And what I mean avoid grasses is look at the back of your label. If it's going to say wheatgrass and this grass and that grass, they're just grasses. We need things that are more nutrient dense. How often are we getting enough kale? How much are we getting enough spinach, arugula, chlorella? Things that are hard to find, hard to come by, things that are organic. So if you can get something that's going to be organic based, and a greens powder, it should contain prebiotics, probiotics, fiber, superfoods, keyword, superfoods that are going to give you those key nutrients, not just your usual wheatgrass or your lettuce and tomatoes, things that we don't really get much from as well. Yeah. So something like that would be good. But I'd say I'd put my money towards a good greens powder. If you guys shop at Sprouts or Whole Foods or even Amazon, you can find a good greens powder that'll give you a blend of digestion for like your regularity, hydrating your colon, along with things for your overall health that will give you superfoods, keyword superfoods, because we all know that a lot of us don't get a lot of organic vegetables or fruits.
Okay. Is that, and that's also going to like make you a lot more regular. That's going to help clear the bowels. That's going to take every excess.
Keyword, Hydrate everything, flush everything out.
Detox.
And
that's where like a lot of polyps coming from, right? A lot of colon cancers is not flushing everything out properly. Poor diet.
Especially guys, we don't want to take care of our colon. And greens powders is a nice way to do it, without having to get, this is the colon buster product. No, you can get a greens powder. That should give you the hydration for your colon and for your gut. So everything that you're taking in, all your burgers and fries. That's the thing too, a lot of us don't eat the healthiest. So we should supplement something to kind of balance things out. I'm not saying it's...
it's not saying it's going to do it 100%, but it's going to help.
Yeah, people know the difference.
That's very interesting.
Regularly. And actually 5 years ago, I would have been like protein. But
But that's probably adding to the cause.
Yeah,
right?
just knowing how what we need is at least American diet. The standard American diet, we are lacking fiber and things for digestion, especially if you make the effort, because the soil now is so degraded. It's not the same quality anymore. We're missing a lot of those key nutrients.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. What's something else you recommend?
Yeah, something else I'd recommend, and a lot of us have issues with high stress, high cortisol. We know when you have high stress, whether it be from lifestyle, maybe your job, maybe kids, maybe family, maybe struggles.
Maybe all of it.
Maybe all the above. Maybe all the above.
All the above.
Stress is going to increase inflammation. Inflammation is going to, throw off your blood sugar. It's going to affect your sleep. It's going to affect your ability to build muscle. It's going to affect your ability to lose weight. So something for cortisol support, there's a product called ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is going to...
talk to me about it. I've heard of this. I don't know much about it. It's something I've heard a lot about recently.
Yeah, ashwagandha is actually going to be a natural root that you can actually use to lower cortisol. It also helps out with kind of binding testosterone too. So people use it for testosterone support too. But the main reason that I would say take ashwagandha would be to help out with lowering cortisol. And the thing about cortisol, it's not bad, it's not good. You want to have a balance. You want to, if you have high cortisol in the morning, which you naturally do, that's not a bad thing at all. But the main thing about cortisol is when you have caffeine and cortisol together, which all of us do. We do our coffee, we do our energy drinks in the morning.
Especially in America.
And unfortunately, it's going to spike cortisol even more. Okay. So taking maybe like a cortisol support in the morning would be a good idea. If not, maybe wait later on the day for your cortisol to normalize and take your coffee later. Most of us, we have things, don't bother me until I take my coffee in the morning. We need our coffee in the morning, don't bother me. I'm not that way, obviously, but people need their coffee first thing when I'm like, if you can hold off on coffee. But coffee, caffeine, stress, that all increases cortisol, and that's going to cause gut issues, once again, sleep issues, weight loss issues, and the inability to absorb nutrients and build muscle. So that would be something I would take. Another thing too, like cortisol support, like the ashwagandha, would be phosphatidylserine.
What is that one?
Phosphatidylserine is another. Yeah, it's another thing you can take. And here's the thing too, all these ingredients you guys can look up, but if you can just find a supplement that says cortisol support, typically you're going to see phosphatidylserine in here, or you're going to see ashwagandha.
Gotcha.
And just know and just keep in mind, if you were to take that supplement before you go to bed, you'll sleep better, feel better. If you take that after you work out, you'll recover better, sleep better, feel better.
Gotcha.
And that will allow your body to work better on a weight loss level, muscle building level.
Gotcha. And you mentioned cortisol bringing up inflammation.
Right.
That's something, I guess I was aware of it, but something I never actually heard anyone say before.
Right. Okay.
So why is that?
Yeah, the stress hormone is going to cause your body to, and once again, cortisol is not a bad thing, but too much cortisol. If you have high cortisol because you had bad sleep, a lot of us have high cortisol in the morning because we don't have the best sleep. Maybe because we have a lot on our minds, maybe the time of sleep we didn't sleep, the quality of sleep. So when you have
the type of food keeping you up, the lack of exercise.
Yeah. People drink wine before they go to bed or alcohol. It's back and forth, but in general, alcohol before you go to bed is going to increase cortisol. It's going to spike your blood sugar. It's going to give you not the best sleep. You might fall asleep, but you might wake up feeling great. You might wake up feeling not the best.
The quality of sleep is completely different.
And that's the thing too. So cortisol, maybe not directly, but indirectly is going to increase inflammation because it's going to throw off so many of your body's natural signals to repair and recover for that night. So if your body isn't able to turn everything over and reset and repair, you're going to be stressed out the next day, and that's going to cause inflammation in the body. If you never really find a way to combat that or get a handle on that, you're going to create more inflammation, which is going to lead to, of course, we know, disease and blood sugar issues and everything else. So
I don't think most people realize that inflammation is one of the worst possible things for you, which causes aging, causes like problems, arthritis, causes. What doesn't it cause? Is probably a better question.
That's the thing. People think inflammation, like, oh, my joints hurt. Like, no, you could think way more into that, like you said, diseases and blood sugar issues, weight loss issues. And the thing about it, if you don't really take care of it, it's going to spread. It's back and forth. You can have inflammation in your body, and if you don't take care of it, it can get worse and worse and worse. And it starts with the diet, but once again, we go back to eating healthy, and maybe the price of food is hard to do, or it's hard to keep veggies in your food because they go bad faster. So that's when people who are against supplements say, let me try supplement something, because it's, like I said, supplements are kind of something that we need to take, because it's hard for us to really, the everyday person, if our job isn't revolving around our bodybuilding or muscles, we have regular jobs and kids to take care of and things to adhere to that are non health related. We have to supplement something to balance it out, opposed to saying, I can't figure it out. So that's why these supplements come in handy, especially the ones for stress. And people think, okay, I'm thinking now I got to buy 2 things. That's going to be expensive. There's things you can get that will give you all the above so far from what I said. There's things you can get that will give you stuff for cortisol, because some people who actually develop supplements, they know the everyday person deals with stuff, stress, and so they try and combat all of it together in one. And you can try it out. A lot of times when you have everything in one product, it may not give you enough of each ingredient for it to work, but it's better than nothing, so it's a good start. But you can get, even a greens powder should have things in there for stress and cortisol, because some roots and extracts from plants will lower cortisol.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got for me? This is good. I'm getting a bit out of this. Learned a lot here. And I know a lot about supplements. I've worked in supplement stores. I've managed supplement stores, but you can, and that's what you can never stop learning.
That's the thing.
There's always someone who knows more than you. There's always new research. And that's why it's important to watch stuff like this.
Very, very so. I'd say the third thing, being a bodybuilder, most people would think, muscle building stuff. Oh, he's talking about inflammation. He's talking about digestion. That's different. And then it's because you got to think about a base. What does your body need to absorb and balance? You can be working your butt off in the gym, taking enough protein and creatine, but if your body isn't actually, actually equipped,
taking it in, right?
You're kind of wasting it.
Yeah, like these people will say you got to eat X amount of protein per day, but if your body's not absorbing that protein, it's pointless, right?
Right.
You're eating this fancy food, you're eating this nice food, but your body's not taking it in. It's like pushing something into a concrete wall. It's just not.
And you're wasting money then too.
Yeah, that's a whole different issue, right? That's a whole issue.
Stressful. So that's, speaking of nutrient absorption, and my third thing would be a GDA, which is the glucose disposal agent. So it's the supplements, which once again could be in greens powders. I'd recommend taking it by itself. This supplement is designed to drive and shuttle nutrient to the muscles. So if you have a supplement that allows your body to be prepped and primed to absorb nutrients, you can take this supplement that's going to shuttle all your foods to your muscles, so you can actually get more nutrients out of the food itself. And a lot of these supplements too will aid in blood sugar, so you can have a nice balanced blood sugar, so you can get insulin spikes and fat storage. The supplements also provide things for the workout. You say you have your carbs prior to training, you take the supplement before you work out with your carbohydrate meals. It's going to allow you to use your carbohydrates better for performance in the gym. Say it's marketed towards a certain way. Sometimes they market the same exact product towards people who have cheat meals. It's your birthday, you're going out with your family, and you're going to have a lot of food, like things that you shouldn't have, processed foods, saturated foods. You could take the supplement, and it's going to help out with blood sugar to some extent. If you're doing tons of alcohol and sugar and fatty foods, it's going to help out to some extent. But the main thing about the GDAs is a lot of us, we don't have a handle on our diet totally.
What is a GDA? What's an example of a GDA? Because I couldn't actually.
So here's something you can do. Here's something that we probably all know about, like a cinnamon. If you know cinnamon bark extract, cinnamon's going to stabilize your blood sugar. That's one that you might see in a lot of different things. Bitter melon. When it comes to the people who are pre-diabetic or diabetics, some doctors will recommend certain things that will balance your blood sugar out naturally. So if you guys are familiar with bitter melon, or like I said, cinnamon, or even certain B vitamins. These are things that are going to help out with transporting nutrients to the muscles and balancing out your blood sugar. And for someone who doesn't work out or bodybuild at all, is just keep in mind it's going to help you stabilize your blood sugar. If your blood sugar is constantly spiking, you're going to become insulin resistant, which means your body's not going to be able to utilize sugar and carbs for things like performance. You're going to store it and store it and store it. If you are like a runner or an athlete, and you want to utilize your food better for performance, it's a good idea to use it for that. If you're someone who wants to lose weight and you maybe are still doing carbs and maybe have those days where you fall off and on, you can use it for the kind of, we'll say you can use it as a tool. Some people will just use things that control their blood sugar before they have something that's going to be high sugar or high carbs.
Okay.
That way they have a little better balance on their blood sugar. And that's the thing, there's so many different approaches you can use when it comes to a GDA or insulin mimicker. There's different names and categories for it. Some are geared towards the workout, some are geared towards weight loss. And the thing about it is they all kind of do the same exact thing, just certain ingredients. Here's another one too. Dr. recommend, it's called alpha-lipoic acid, ALA.
Okay.
And that's antioxidant, so anti-aging, blood sugar. That's the thing too. When we have issues with our blood sugar, it's going to cause aging. It's going to age us. It's going to cause different diseases down the road. Not to include, of course, diabetes.
Yep.
So we know what diabetes does. That's to our bodies. It ages us as well. So these are things that I would say is a good base for us in general. Whether you're bodybuilding, losing weight, working out, just in general, because a lot of us have our days where we're up and down. And a lot of us don't have a nice base because our diet or eating daily doesn't always provide what we need on a daily basis. And it's a job in itself. I gotta make sure I get my fiber for the day. I make sure I need everything for my gut for the day regarding hydration and digestion. It can be very discouraging.
It's very very intimidating.
And when you're intimidated and discouraged, what do? You quit.
You stick your head in the sand and you don't try at all.
Yeah, so that's why I like those three things. When I really put things in perspective, for someone who comes into my store and they're starting for the first time, they don't know what they need and they're not taking anything at all. I always recommend those three things to start with, and very, very vaguely do they know what they are.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, and it's very helpful for them as well. It's easy stuff.
What else you got?
Yeah, we can say a fourth thing. I would say is maybe something for performance. We're getting into those who want to work out, because most people who want to work out, once again, advertise stuff, social media, internet. I need something for energy and wake me up, get me all amped up. And a lot of times. People have that already. They do coffee, they do Starbucks, they do energy drinks. And a lot of times when you're taking a lot of caffeine, that's doing nothing at all but actually going against what you're trying to do. You want to be able to shuttle nutrients. You want to be able to actually get more blood flow to the muscle. So supplements like people may have heard of citrulline or arginine. A lot of those supplements are actually found in foods, and like fruits like watermelons have citrulline, creatine, so things that are going to give you performance in the gym. So in my opinion, a pre-workout, which people know what that word means, who work out or maybe have seen things gym related or GNC, a pre-workout supplement would be a good idea. The reason
what
why
makes a good I mean to catch up, but what makes a good pre-workout opposed to, because I feel like there's some which are more detrimental than
That's the thing I was going to say, because that's why I kept it towards the end, because pre-workouts are so
caffeine junkie,
it's gonna get you.
Oh my god!
And this is
citrulline, creatine. That stuff is bomb. That stuff is amazing.
I like the things that have anecdotal studies. Like you can go online and look up creatine. It's probably the top 2 most researched supplement in the world, and caffeine is number 1. So they both have so much research behind them, but actually studies showing for performance, you have more with creatine. So people are already coming around and realizing that caffeine performance, caffeine and cognition is good, but it does restrict blood flow. And I know I need blood flow for nutrient delivery, so I'm kind of like playing tug of war here.
Vasodilating to get the blood flow in the pump.
Yeah. What does creatine do? Creatine actually gives you more energy, to the mitochondrial cells for energy. It's better for cognition as well. And so people who have maybe it's studies showing, once again, people who have maybe are trying to prevent dementia or have dementia, it's a good supplement in general. But creatine in general, it's naturally occurring in the body. You find it in certain foods. I've got a lot of clients that are vegan that don't get creatine for what reason? Because they don't do meat. So they supplement creatine if they need to. So the main thing about the workout is giving your body enough ATP and things that's going to recruit more ATP for performance. ATP meaning muscle energy, in other words. So a pre-workout that's going to give you a good amount of things that are going to fuel your muscles for the gym. So it's like an energy for your muscles opposed to energy for your cognition. So I'm not against caffeine at all. A lot of pre-workouts will give you caffeine for cognition energy and then creatine for muscle energy, so they go together, but it's more so finding that balance of both. And a lot of us are already overly stimulated because we do coffee, Starbucks, Monsters, Bangs.
Most of running on stimulants, right?
Opposed to, and
most people can't function without stimulants.
And so I say, give it a shot, acknowledge what you're meant to feel, and try it out, see if you need it. And a lot of us just don't know direction-wise, I need to feel this product to work. Regarding feeling it, meaning feel the product working opposed to feeling the actual effects of the product.
Yeah. And I honestly, in my opinion, I didn't start drinking coffee until I was 34 or something.
Right.
in my opinion, you should be able to be motivated without caffeine, without taking a you should be able to go to the gym and train hard without that stuff. If you need that to train, you probably need to get off that and build back to like getting motivated by yourself.
That's the thing, yeah.
It should be a bonus. We always talk about bonuses, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not addiction, a bonus.
Yeah. So well, they can't live without pre-workout, and so that's a problem.
Or they can't function without coffee.
Yeah.
If you can't function without coffee, you're addicted, and you need to go back to the drawing board and work on that. Yeah, you need a reset.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so a good pre-workout, but a pre-workout that's not wigging you out.
Yeah.
You're not addicted to.
Not caffeine based, but
that's just adding to.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to have a pre-workout. It could just be citrulline. It could just be arginine. It could just be creatine. Or it could just be those together with some BCAAs like I do.
Yeah, BCAAs are key.
I'll have some BCAAs and I'll throw some creatine, some arginine in that, and that's my pre-workout.
That's a workout for itself, yeah.
So, all right, last of all.
Yeah, last supplement I'd say in general would be something just for just better sleep and better recovery.
Why is sleep so important?
Yeah.
Answer me that.
Yeah, I would just, generally speaking, a good way to put it is if your body doesn't have good sleep, everything you did for that entire day, you ran miles, you ate healthy, you did everything to the T for your goal, but your sleep was crappy. So everything that you did was a waste. Your body needs to be able to turn over calories. Your body burns fat. Your body restores your hormones for muscle building. Your body actually does everything it needs for nutrients and digestion while you sleep. So if you don't have proper sleep regarding quality of sleep, I slept 8 hours, but the quality wasn't very good. You're tossing and turning, or you just slept 3 hours. Your body's ability to lose weight and build muscle and restore hormones and just reset everything is actually dictated on your sleep. I always say sleep's the most anabolic hormone of all, and I don't mean steroids or PEDs. I just mean it's the most critical hormone that we need to have when we sleep to be able to actually get the results that we're trying to do.
Gotcha.
You can bust your butt all day in the gym and eat healthy, but if you're not getting the proper recovery from sleep, then that's going to kind of dictate your ability to either progress fast or not progress at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's a good one to contribute to your sleep?
Yeah. I've really always been against melatonin for the longest time because
you've been against it?
Yeah, for the longest time because, and it's in everything. A lot of kids' sleep aids or kids' supplements, they'll give melatonin for kids, and it's a hormone. It's banned in some countries, melatonin, because it is a hormone and it can have issues, side effects. But a lot of us now, we have our phone. And we're always on our phone, computer screens, and the blue light from the actual computers and our phones, and even outside, it's depleting our body of melatonin.
Gotcha.
So when we have lack of melatonin, that's going to give us, poor quality of sleep. And so a lot of us don't supplement anything before we go to bed at all. So we'll even fall asleep to TV on. I'll be guilty of that sometimes.
Yeah.
We'll be watching our favorite Netflix show or Hulu channel, and we'll fall asleep watching TV, or we'll be on our phone before we go to bed, opposed to turning everything off.
Phone in your hand. Yeah.
And we have the worst sleep because we're depleting our body of that melatonin, the hormone. We need to be in the dark. So something for sleep. I like the idea of melatonin, or maybe L-dopamine, or valerian root. Those are just natural sleep aids, minus the melatonin. It's a hormone that's going to allow us to actually, get a more restful sleep. And when we lack melatonin with studies, we lower testosterone, we increase estrogen, we go up our blood sugar levels. So it's going to dictate our ability once again to burn fat and build muscle and just have overall health. So it's a key thing. I would just say in moderation. Maybe start with a very low dose. And the thing about melatonin is with studies, it may stop the supply of your natural production of melatonin. But when you're on your phone all day long, and at night, what are you doing? You're doing the same exact thing. So I think it might be a good idea to supplement small amounts of melatonin, maybe when you need it. But at the same time, acknowledge that blue light is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you got the supplement, but you can also, for an hour and a half before bed, I'm getting off my phone, or I'm not watching TV, or I'm picking up a book, I'm being aware of things which are causing detrimental effects to my sleep.
Exactly.
Gotcha. All right, man. So just to go over them quickly, top 5 were not the top 5, but the 5 you recommend.
Yeah, top 5. Something for digestion. So
digestion
would be the main thing. Something for your overall health, like I was saying before, like a greens powder. You can do something like that. So once again, you can always get your healthy fats like chia seed, flaxseed, and your greens powder all in one product.
Yep.
You know, that's one thing.
Which we both take, right? Both a huge fan of it.
You can definitely do something like that, and that you can get all of it in one. Something for your overall like body's inflammation, you know, to help lower inflammation, do something like that as well.
That's the cortisone, right?
Yeah. So something for cortisol support. Like I said before, you can get two things in one. Cortisol and digestion, they go hand in hand, because high cortisol is going to throw your gut health off. But digestion is a big one. Once again, no particular order. Everyone's got their own issues. So digestion would be number one. Second thing I would say is for stress. You know, third thing would be something for your blood sugar.
Okay.
Fourth thing, I would say something for your overall performance if you do decide to go for a walk, so workout, or even just overall cognition. And the last thing I'd say is something for sleep, like melatonin or valerian root.
Cool. Got it. Super helpful. Learn a lot.
It's a lot of stuff, but people take 3 times the amount of stuff that I just mentioned, and they're religious about it.
If you're drinking energy drinks to get through the day, there's step back and readdress your priorities.
And it's like, what are you eating to justify you not thinking that you can invest in these 5 supplements?
Yeah.
You know, you can't say I get the best sleep, I eat the best, I poop the best, and everything's good. Something's gonna be off.
Yeah.
Just like,
you don't have to take them all, but just figure out what might actually help to you.
I agree.
What do you call it? One variable.
Oh yeah. That's one thing too. One variable at a time, always.
So that could actually work adding to things too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you talk about one variable taking away, taking away soda or taking away, but you could actually one variable you could add.
Yes.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So.
All right, man. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.